Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you for watching my presentation video. It is grateful to see you all. Okay, let me introduce myself and my partner. I am Muhammad Zulfikar and my partner is Yuli Anggraini. We are from Group 4. Okay, my friend, in this presentation we will discuss the material from English for Specific Purpose. The title is ESP and Reading by Alan HIRVELA. First, I will explain to you about the introduction from ESP and reading. ESP and reading, Alan HIRVELA. Reading occupies what might be called a curious place in English for specific purpose, or ESP. On the one hand, as Jordan has observed, in any self-assessment or questionnaire-based survey, students almost always count reading as the skill causing them the less difficulty. Thus, there would not seem to be much reason to address in the ESP. On the other hand, reading is at the heart of much what ESP students do, both in acquiring knowledge of target community that occurs in conjunction with the one another skill, such as writing, the say McDonough. It will come as no surprise to most people discover that, in the ESP term, by far the most significant skill in that of reading. Then, too, even if many students rank reading as the least difficult of the skills, this does not mean the students have no problems at all with reading. There are then important reasons to focus on reading ESP course and conduct research in this area. Alright, the next slide we will discuss about foundation and reading in ESP. First, foundational aspect. To gain a better understanding of current classification on the approaches to ESP and reading, it is helpful to see where reading has come from as related to ESP. Like ESP itself, interest in reading began to shift in the as Peter differs, combined while noting a significant pedagogical change taking place time. The pendulum may have swung too far in the direction of speech, and many teachers are now seeking to inscare the effort applied to learning and teaching of reading. Second is from register analysis to discourse analysis. Reading ascendancy in ESP considers with important shift in ESP itself. Hutchinson and Waters, in a historical review of ESP's development, identify an initial stage in which they say the analysis had been of the surface form of the language. In the form of register analysis, there is the study at the sentence language used by nurse, airplane machine, and bank tellers. In the stage, the teaching of reading reserved minimal attention. It was saying Hutchinson and Waters. At the next stage of the development, that reading pedagogy in the ESP took major step forward, whereas the first stage of its development, ESP had focused on language at the sentence level. The second phase of development shifted attention to the level above the sentence. This change is emphasis created an opening for new approaches to reading. The last one is genre analysis. A genre compares a class of communicative events. Discussion of the role of genre ESP must begin with the extremely influential work of John Walsh, the doyen of ESP genre studies. Highland As Walsh explained in his seminal book, genre analysis is English in academic and research settings. With the use of genre analysis technique, ESP students can be taught how to recognize and mimic the schematic structure of text in their chosen discourse communities. The next slide is emerging perspectives and research on reading. In this section of the chapter 1, I will review how ESP specialists have treated reading since the foundation discussed in the first section of the chapter will establish. The target academic on occupational needs a central driving force in the field. As such, the literature on reading tends to focus on how it should be taught in the rigid Bruce chapters in the current situation in the following terms. Reading is sometimes taught on its own as the separate skill, sometimes in conjunction with writing, and sometimes as a component of study skill program. Whether a single skill or integrated approach is taken, the main focus on reading instruction often tends to be development of sub-skill to extracting different types of information from text, such as skimming for gist and scanning for specific details. Right in this section, I will look at reading within two primary frameworks suggested early by Bruce, a stand-alone skill, as the case of course dedicated to teaching students how to read, and second, in the integrated skill framework. Okay, thank you. Pembahasan selanjutnya akan dilanjutkan oleh teman saya, Yuli Anggraini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yuli Anggraini. So I will continue the material and I will explain it. Reading as a standalone skill. Teaching reading skills. Teacher wants to know how to teach students in ESP reading course to get student interest. Teachers have to knowledge the reading strategy and focus on the rhetorical features of target. To activate this process, Wang, Chen, and Chern explored the use of carefully selected pre-reading materials taken from longer discipline-specific texts students will read later. To prime students' reading skill in the reading course, including general purpose reading that have already been built. Next, textbooks. A key issue for ESP reading specialists is how students should read, what they have to read and comprehend. Textbooks have a topic interest, particularly since this is the genre commonly faced by students. The last one is vocabulary, both native language and second or foreign language reading scholarship. Vocabulary occupies an important place since the words on the page are the starting points for reading. Next, reading in integrated skills context. Reading as a skill is normally linked with writing. This is fundamental characteristic of the target academic situation in which students are typically reading books and journals, summarizing, paraphrasing, and something else, and practice materials for reading. The link with reading is normally include genre-based approach, tardy conclude, a range educational level. At least some learners appears to be motivated by genre-based instructional and can develop a mental language for talking about text through such instruction. Similarly, talking about text through genre-based reading instruction may increase student ability to locate information in text and develop a better understanding of text rhetorical elements. Last one is portfolios. Portfolios also been present as useful in the development of ESP reading ability, especially in conjunction with writing. ESP students are asked to discuss in their portfolios what they have learned in their reading of different genres of text in their chosen disciplinary community. Conclusion: both of teaching and research wide range of approach to the treatment of reading in ESP-related context has emerged over the past 3 decades, especially under the influence of the groundbreaking work discussed earlier on. Also demonstrate what that reading is a vibrant area of ESP that continue to attract attention in the realms of pedagogy and research, despite perceptions that is not as challenging to acquire or use as other skills.